Hello fellow astrologers, and welcome back to our next set of videos in our basic birth chart series, CD2 Sara's birth chart reading. In this video, CD2 POI, we'll be going over our chart interpretation of all the signs of Sara's points of interests. The nodes, north and south, the part of fortune, Chiron, and the midheaven. So the point of interests all have their own little special thing about them that's very different from the traditional planets and luminaries. The nodes here, which you can see right here, is in Cancer. This is the north node and the south node. Nodes are always directly opposed because it represents the poles of the actual moon. And the nodes are actually a path of destiny. It's where you come from in the past and where you're going towards your future. The part of fortune over here in Sagittarius is a math computation based off the relationship of your ascendant, your sun, and your moon. It's an actual calculated number. It comes from the Arabian parts where you add together what the ascendant's degree is, put together with the moon's degree, and you minus the sun's degree from it. So in this case, since they're so tight, it brings it all the way back and makes it real tight and close. It denotes where you're going to have favor and fortune. And Chiron and Taurus is right over here. So Chiron is not really a planet, it's an asteroid. Well, technically, it's actually called a Centaurus because it's both a meteor and an asteroid. It's a hybrid. And the first one that was ever discovered back in the 70s, and it was named Chiron after the wounded healer. It also has a lot to do with things to do with wounds and self-healing, deep wounds, and how you heal yourself and help others heal from these type of wounds as well. And finally, down here is the midheaven. You see right here where it says MC, midheaven's at 29 degrees Libra. The midheaven discusses a lot about your ambition and how you want to see your outer self. Where the ascendant is where what you were born with on your outer self. This is where you want to be. This is the face you were born with, and this is the crown that you want to wear in life. So before I get into depth with all of them, let's scroll back up here and do a reading from the paragraph, and then we'll get into more detail for each one. Sara's north node in Cancer calls her to a path of emotional openness, nurturing, and authentic connection. She's meant to move away from excessive self-reliance or control and towards trust, family, and heartfelt empathy. Growth comes when she learns to soften her defenses and honor intuition as much as reason. By creating emotional safety for herself and others, she discovers her truest strength, compassion rooted in vulnerability and care. So one of the true lessons that we learn from the nodes in general, both the north node and the south node, is the actual concept of your polar opposites and the duality of it. What are the differences between the two? The nodes work as a pair. The north node shows the soul's direction, while the south node reveals the habits and skills carried from the past life. The whole concept of the nodes themselves actually come from Vedic astrology, where they actually talk about the karma that you have, like past lives, what you did in past lives or early life, and what you're going to do in this life. Where the south node is the past and where you come from. In this case, Capricorn, which was more on self-reliance and independence and strict structures, as opposed to Cancer, where you learn to connect with the family and depending on the nurturing nature of family and embodying that. So in this case, the south node in Capricorn shows that they've already mastered responsibility, discipline, and self-reliance. Now, what she needs to know is about how to build, lead, and stay strong through hard times with family, with the actual north node in Cancer. The south node's kind of a comfort zone, but it's not a place you want to linger. The soul can't stay where it's comfortable. The north node in Cancer calls towards vulnerability, nurturing, and emotional connection. Something you get by actually connecting with family and trying to build those bonds with family members. This lifetime is about moving from control to care, from managing life. In this lifetime, this path of destiny is about moving from control to care, from managing life to feeling it. In past lives or in early life conditioning, Sara may have felt that love had to be earned through success or duty, but now her soul wants her to learn that love is given through presence and empathy. The South Node in Capricorn gives the backbone to handle life's challenges, but the North Node teaches to soften that strength with compassion. So it's not about abandoning the ambition of Capricorn, it's about redefining success to include the emotional security and human connection that one finds through Cancer. When these two energies are balanced, you can become both wise and warm, a leader who nurtures and a nurturer who leads. Achievement with heart. So let's read the paragraph. With her part of fortune in Sagittarius, Sara's happiness flourishes through freedom, discovery, and living her personal truth. Luck follows when she listens to her inner philosopher, exploring new cultures, ideas, and experiences that broaden her world. This placement thrives on optimism and faith in life's bigger picture. Prosperity flows when she shares her wisdom and embraces adventure with confidence and humor. So the part of fortune represents our natural flow of success and happiness. It's where life feels effortless, where we shine without forcing it, and where joy and opportunity tend to align when we follow our true nature. It shows where life just seems to click, the energies that bring success, joy, and a sense of purpose when we follow it naturally. When the part of fortune's in Sagittarius, its happiness is tied to freedom, growth, and discovery. Its spirit lights up when it's learning, teaching, or exploring new horizons. Sagittarius is the sign of expansion and higher learning. So it thrives when life feels like an adventure, whether that's travel, study, or diving deep into philosophy and truth-seeking. The more they expand their worldview, the luckier they become. Sagittarius loves the thrill of the adventure, so this joy isn't about playing it safe. It's saying yes to the unknown, following intuition, and trusting that life rewards curiosity. Opportunities flow to them when they stay tuned to their beliefs and share them with enthusiasm. Their passion inspires others to see the world in new ways. The greatest fortune that comes for this placement is when they remember that life isn't about the destination, it's about the journey. Okay, so now let's move on to Taurus and Chiron. With Chiron and Taurus, Sara's deepest healing comes through self-worth, stability, and trust in their own value. She may carry early wounds around scarcity or insecurity that later teaches her how to build lasting inner peace. Over time, she becomes a guide for others learning to find beauty and strength in simple, authentic living. Healing the material world and nurturing security, whether it's emotional or financial, becomes her quiet superpower. So, Chiron represents our deepest emotional wounds. The part of us that feels not enough, and the place where, through time, we become healers ourselves, as an example to others from our own personal experience. With Taurus and Chiron, this wound centers around security, self-value, and trust in life's abundance. Sara may have had an early experience with instability, emotional, financial, or physical, leaving her feeling that safety must be earned rather than naturally deserved. This placement often brings a lifelong lesson around receiving, learning that it's okay to rest, to be cared for, and to enjoy life's pleasures without guilt. People with this placement sometimes measure their worth by productivity or possessions. Taurus wants something tangible to hold on to. The true healing begins when they realize that the true security comes from within, from knowing that your worth is innate, not conditional. As a person with this placement heals, they become a grounding force for others, someone who teaches peace through patience and persistence. Chiron in Taurus transforms pain into wisdom about self-value, teaching that stability isn't built by control, but by trust in one's natural rhythm. The gift that Chiron Taurus gives is helping others feel safe in their bodies, their emotions, and their right to just simply be, and to help them believe in themselves. Okay, so now let's move on to the last one, the Midheaven. Sara's Midheaven in Libra points to a public image defined by grace, balance, and partnership. She succeeds through diplomacy, beauty, and the ability to bring people together. Her career path favors roles involving design, counseling, negotiation, or art. Anywhere harmony and aesthetics matter. With this placement at the final degree of Libra, she's meant to master social grace while standing firm in fairness and truth, leaving a legacy of refined integrity. Okay, so the Midheaven itself represents our public path, our life direction, and our legacy. It's the peak of the chart right up here at the top, showing how we're seen by the world, what we strive towards in our careers, and the reputation or purpose we build over time. With the Midheaven in Libra, the soul's path in the outer world revolves around balance, partnership, and diplomacy. They're here to build bridges, to create harmony where there's conflict, and bring aesthetics or fairness to whatever they do publicly. This placement often thrives in fields that are creative, social, or involve relations. Things like design or counseling, negotiation, art, public relations, or law. People with Libra Midheavens succeed not by force, but by grace and collaboration. People trust their sense of fairness and their ability to listen. They seek to make the world more beautiful and cooperative, whether that's through words, visual, or ideas that inspire peace. There's a refined, composed energy to their professional presence. They naturally understand tone, timing, and presence. They naturally understand tone, timing, and presentation. The challenge becomes learning not to please everyone or lose themselves trying to maintain balance. Their authority comes from standing firm in their values, not just keeping the peace. As they mature, their career paths often move towards roles that involve mediation, beauty, or even unifying people together. As the Midheaven shows a lot about our public purpose, Libra in this position shows that elegance and empathy are not weakness, they're powerful forms of leadership. When they lead from that Libran heart, they leave behind a legacy of connection, artistry, and harmony, the mark of someone who made the world gentler yet stronger. So, as we sum it all up, we come to learn that the points of interest take us beyond just our personality. They reveal the soul's journey where destiny, fulfillment, and healing all converge. The North Node in Cancer shows purpose, to move from control to connection, to lead through compassion, not perfection. The South Node in Capricorn provides the strength and structure that's needed to master these things. But the soul's growth lies in softening that discipline from emotional wisdom. The part of fortune in Sagittarius brings joy through expansion. Happiness blooms when you follow your curiosity, explore truths, and live life as an adventure. Chiron in Taurus adds the healing note, where teaching that self-worth and stability comes from trust, not tension. The gift of this placement is helping others feel safe and valued just as they are, from the wisdom of learning through the pain of their own personal experience. And at the top of the chart, the Libra Midheaven defines the public purpose to create harmony, beauty, and fairness in a world that often forgets balance. Together, these 4 points form the higher arc of our story. They show a soul learning to merge intellect with empathy, structure with softness, and wisdom with warmth. Your greatest evolution comes when you let your heart lead as confidently as your mind, when you live your truth and feel it. And this is the essence of Sara's journey. Not just to build a meaningful life, but to make it beautifully human. And that sums up the CD2 birth chart. Thank you for staying to the end. If you'd like to go to our Patreon and pick up a copy of this PDF and do a deeper dive, you can actually click on some of these links to see a Google search about what all these different topics are. You can also click these links here if you'd like to see a video on these individual topics to learn more about what Sagittarius means or what the part of fortune means. You can click on the video where we talk about it, or you can go to the Google search as well. And that can be found on our Patreon. There'll be a link in the description. And thank you. We hope you have enjoyed this video from our Astrology Keyring series. If you like the content, please like, follow, and share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed journey.